So, there are only two playbooks in business. There's the Grind Playbook and there's the Growth Playbook. Most founders think they're growing, but they're really just grinding. If your success depends on running harder every single year, you're not scaling. You're stuck in the Grind Playbook. And here's what that looks like. The founder who celebrates doubling revenue but secretly dreads it because they're working double the hours. Or maybe it's the founder who brags about hiring fast, but then has to spend every night fixing the mistakes their team can't handle. Or it's the founder who gets applause for looking like a rocket ship, but inside they feel like they're one bad week away from total collapse. All of that's not growth, that's grind. And today, I want to break down the difference between the Grind Playbook and the Growth Playbook. Because once you see the contrast, you'll never confuse the two again. And more importantly, in my opinion, you'll know how to choose the playbook that actually scales your business and gives you your life back. So let's talk about the Grind Playbook. What exactly is the Grind Playbook? I think it's the operating system based on hustle, right? The Grind Playbook runs on heroic effort, long hours, sleepless nights, the founder's fingerprints on every detail of the business. And here are some of the characteristics. There's no systems in place, just people pushing harder. Every decision usually flows back to the founder. And revenue growth equals stress growth. Wins are celebrated, but they never really feel all that secure. If your business only grows when you grind harder, you're not scaling, you're just exhausting yourself. The emotional toll is pretty steep. Founders running the Grind Playbook live in constant state of emergency. The to-do list, it's never done. They can't run without, the business won't run without them. And the harder they work, the more trapped they feel. And yet the Grind Playbook gets glamorized. Social media celebrates the hustle culture. Colleagues cheer on the founder who's crushing it by working 70, 80, 90-hour work weeks. But behind closed doors, these same founders, they're burning out. Grind doesn't create freedom. Grind actually creates fragility. And I know this because I've played the Grind Playbook myself. I thought the key to winning was simply working harder, saying yes to even more, staying later, carrying every problem on my back. And for a while, it did work. Revenue went up. People congratulated me. But inside, I slowly started to collapse. I thought I was playing the Growth Playbook, but I was just grinding myself into the ground. Since then, I've worked with dozens of founders who faced the very same trap. On the outside, they look like success. But the reality, they were playing the Grind Playbook. They were fragile, they were exhausted, and it was unsustainable. And that's when I realized scaling doesn't come from grinding harder. It comes from switching playbooks entirely. So then, what's the Growth Playbook? Well, it's the opposite of the grind. The Growth Playbook runs on systems, uses leverage, and offers clarity. And here are some of the characteristics. Processes are documented, and they are repeatable. Teams own the outcomes, not just the tasks. And revenue growth creates more margin and more freedom, not more stress. The wins, they feel sustainable because they come from structure, not from heroics. The Growth Playbook isn't about working harder. It's about trying to build smarter. And in that, there's also an emotional shift. The founder running the Grind Playbook feels exhausted and anxious. The founder running the Growth Playbook feels confident, stable, free. Think of it this way. Grind is pushing a boulder uphill every single day, and growth is building a ramp, rolling it once, and then letting momentum carry it forward, right? Grind is pushing that boulder uphill, and growth is building the ramp. One of those is going to create fragility, and the other is going to create freedom. So when you're looking at your business, how do you know which playbook you're actually running from? Well, here's a simple test with 3 easy questions. Number 1, revenue versus freedom. When money comes in, does it buy you freedom or chain you even harder to the business? If more money makes you busier, you're playing from the grind playbook. If more money makes you freer, then you're playing from the growth playbook. Question number 2, decision making. Are you the answer key for every decision in your business, or does your team make calls with confidence? Because if everything flows back to you, that's the grind playbook. And question 3 is repeatability. Look at your last 5 wins. Were they built on repeatable systems or heroic effort? If your wins depend on you pulling rabbits out of a hat, you're not scaling, you're grinding. And here's a bonus exercise. If you were to take those last 5 wins, write grind or growth next to each one of them. Did the success come from systems or from sweat? If you audit those last 5 wins, were they grind-based or growth-based? The answer tells you everything about the playbook that you and your business are operating out of. Finally, track your growth ratio. Compare how much of your revenue has increased against how much your workload and stress has increased. Because if revenue grows, but stress grows just as fast, you're spinning in the grind playbook. But if revenue grows while stress decreases, obviously that means that you're playing from the growth playbook. And that is the ultimate test. All of this is why I wrote the leverage point, because many founders are trapped in that grind playbook, thinking that exhaustion is just the price of success. But there's another way. The book gives you the tools to switch playbooks. It shows you how to document processes so that your wins are repeatable. It shows you how to train your teams to own the outcomes, not just the tasks. And it gives you the frameworks to measure whether you're spinning or scaling, and then how to fix them. The leverage point is the manual for switching from the grind playbook to the growth playbook. And when you get the leverage point book, you're going to also unlock the free toolkit. And those resources are going to help you implement the systems that carry your business forward so that you're not stuck carrying everything yourself. So here's the bottom line. There are only 2 playbooks, the grind playbook, and that creates fragility, exhaustion, or the growth playbook, which creates freedom and clarity and the ability to scale. You get to choose what playbook you run, grind or growth, fragility or freedom. And the best news is that you can switch. If you're tired of pushing the boulder uphill every day and you're ready to stop grinding and to start scaling, go grab yourself a copy of the leverage point. It's on Amazon right now. It's less than $10 if you want the paperback version, and it's under $1 if you want it on Kindle, and that's a pre-launch special. It's also live on Audible if you prefer audio. Stop running the grind playbook. Start building with the growth playbook. Go grab your copy of the leverage point today, because the truth is simple. Grinding might build a business, but only growth builds a life worth living.